like it. I love it.
Come out more often.
Genuinely one of the most people ever in his entire life. If you can say hello, take time to do it. I promise you will not be disappointed. Now, of course, Fortnite fam, we got to keep the games coming. Games are about to be underway. The players are back. They're ready to board the battle bus. For now, we're going to send it back up to none other than Monster D-Face, Golden Boy, House DJ, Mike Realm. Bring the heat.
All right, folks, we know you're excited to get into some more games, and good news, we got you covered. Welcome, everyone. Golden Boy alongside with Monster D-Face. We're going to call games 3 and 4 of the Fortnite World Cup Solos competition. And, man, you couldn't have asked for 2 better games to start things off, Monster. Craziness through and through. Top to bottom, best players in the world, they're showing up here on the World Cup.
You guys saw the action. Booga, the insane game 1, had us jumping out of our seats, quite literally. And man, Sky, at the final moments, I thought we were going to see a victory comeback from Dubs with the Flint knock shockwave to shake up the
Yeah, it was very, it was a nail biter. Let's just do it like that. But let's run over the Fortnite. So, at top 25, players start to get 3 points. Then we move on to 15th place. At that point, all the players that are still remaining will get an additional 2 points, making it a total of 5. Then after that, if they get to the top 5, they'll add 2 more points to that, making it a 7-point total earned for staying alive all the way to the end. But if you get that victory royale, you get a total of 10 points. So plus 3 coming out of the top 5 there. And each elimination is going to count for 1 point. For these players, play for the placement. Some, like King, want to play for those eliminations. And then the prizing is all on the line for $3 million. The first place prize, $1.8 million for second, $1.2 million for third, and then $1 million as well, plus for fourth. That is crazy. That's a lot of money.
Yesterday, the duels had to split it. Today, it's all close to you, right? It's just a solo competitor. So, and everyone here's a winner. We're here to celebrate every single player that has made it this far. If you stepped onto this stage, you are already
marathon that they developed to this point. Bananas, to say the least. 10 weeks, grueling competition in both solos and duos, and for a lot of our competitors that are prepped not just for the competition today, but also yesterday. Now, we're already 2 games in. We had mentioned some of the players that had performed very well, right? Your Booga, who had a monumental game 1, and then you also had Sky, who was able to just outlive everyone and stay alive. But it is Booga who still holds first place, but by 1 point, because Argentina's very own King is looking to contend that, and that is crazy. I mean, talking about aggression, this guy embodies it.
Yeah, you've seen him time in and time out. It's players like King that really make these tournaments interesting to watch. For the spectators at home, for everyone here in the audience, you gotta have your King show up and bring that action all the way through to the end. And it's not to discredit anyone who made it this far. These guys are still in the
Yeah, it's only 2 games in. Games 3 and 4 are going to be just as important. Players are going to have to step it up if they want to get within the top 20 here. There's just so much on the line. There you see Booga, who's getting ready, getting prepped up. Everyone is so hyped up here at the Arthur Ashe Stadium. And I don't even know what to expect, man. Game 3, like, what are we even going to get? We're seeing early aggression here from a lot of the South American players. Our players that we talked to from North America and Europe said that was what they wanted to avoid, was the South American aggression, the OCE aggression. But this is South America that's showing up.
And not to bring it up, but, you know, you saw exactly what happened when King walked into Tfue. He just saw him trying to shadow bomb peacefully to the zone. They were not safe, by the way. They still had to make it through to Happy Hamlin. But King said, you know what, I'm going to pause right here, and I'm going to take this fight. And that is how the Brazilian region does.
Yeah, that's how they do it, man. They just want to take the fight. They want to go right at your face. They don't care who you are. Listen, you can have millions of subscribers on YouTube. You can have all the Twitch Prime subs. You can have all the fame and the fortune. But at the end of the day, everyone that's in that game, they are all equal. There is no upper hand depending on how popular you are, and you shouldn't be treated that way either. You should just go at them with everything you got, because that's what it's going to take to walk out of New York City with $3 million in your pocket, which, by the way, you'd have to have a very big pocket for that.
Take a look there. Benji Fishy has been showing up.
I told him to play to the crowd. I said, play to the crowd. Have some fun with him.
Yeah, good to see him smiling. You know, we were there in the warm-up games. He's a little timid. Benji, loosen up, buddy. There goes Mr. Savage. And the rest of our competitors.
Creo, Kinstar,
Vivid, of course. This is a big moment for everyone here.
It must be cool as well to see you guys. Give him a round of applause. He waved to everybody. He waved to everybody. You know, that's not bad. All right, so here we go, folks. It's now time to jump into game number 3 here for the Fortnite World Cup Solos competition. The countdown has begun. The players are loaded up in the battle bus. This is it, all on the line. Let's see who will take away another victory royale, or will we see one of our 2 winners get back-to-back wins, get double wins? That will be massive for them. Oh man, I'm excited, Monster.
And so far, Aqua has been the only player to prove that he can win on a stage of this magnitude. But just to give you guys a little context on the bus here, this is a bus coming from the south to the north side. So all of your competitors are going to get, yes, a fair split at the map here. And that's exactly what you like to see. You want everyone to have a fair shot at the map. So let's go and see. Skype is looking to land here. We saw Skype win that last game.
Yep.
Just outside of Pleasant Park. Probably playing for some ballers here in our top 10 over on the left-hand side here. Booga, King, Commandment, Psalm, one of our competitive veterans doing so great right here. Even with that one win, though, Sky is still in 6th place.
Yeah, it's wild to think about that. That's what it took for him to be able to climb up into the top 10. Only 2 eliminations to his name currently standing. But we're going to keep eyes for the time being here as we head on over to Junk Junction. There's a hot spot there as well.
We have talked to some players about landing for hot spots.
I actually just got word from production in the back. King has been eliminated off spawn.
Wow, that's huge. That's going to be a real big setback. We've seen players like Zayt and Zap really fall behind yesterday off of one game not going their way.
That is rough, man. That is certainly not going to be pretty for him. But hey, you have 3 more games remaining. You just got to shake that one off. Moving on, though, we're checking out the action at hand here. You're going to have Tuzel pushed right in to make pay. That's going to be an elimination on to Fledermoys. Well done. Number 1 on the board.
I'll be honest, I wouldn't trust myself with that Magnum, but he gets right up on him and hits him in the chest. Here now with Crew.
That was the shot. Oh, Crew, no chill. Right on the sky platform, too.
That was how King was taken out. Couldn't even land safely. Got pinched right out the sky. That's rough.
Because there's nothing you can do. You're in a glider state. You're just floating down. You're hoping that no one's looking right at you. Players at this point, they're going to go for those shots, those open opportunities. Then you got 2. Just picked up an elimination earlier on. The circle is going to be over in the ice biome, so it's Polar Key, Frosty Flights area, and it's going to be within Pleasant Park as well. So the eastern part of the map. Actually, the same
landing here from the Brazilian region. Again, known for landing on a weapon and pushing straight into whoever's at the block. But Tfue has successfully defended himself. Even in the warm-up games, T was winning all of the early game engagements. And, you know, shout out to Clip. He actually changed his strategy.
Clip went for a shot there.
Yeah, but Clip Node stopped pushing, though. He's not using the same strat. He's actually adopted so far. But let's see what Tfue can do in these moments. He's chucking some perfect grenades across.
Yeah, in game one, Clipnode ended up getting everything that he needed and then disengaged out of the block, whereas Tfue took a little bit more time to loot up, get as much as he possibly can. Clipnode from the Brazilian region here, who it's a possibility that he can take him out, but it's going to be very challenging.
And maybe it was just the difference in loadout. Maybe before he didn't have exactly what he needed. Now we can kind of peek into his loadout here. This is a very strong loadout. He's just taking all of these platforms. He's gaining control slowly but surely. Nice little peek right there. He goes for the staircase first. So clean.
He's all with the controller. We know we have millions of players that play on controller at home, and he goes in. Does apply white damage. One more, and that's going to do it. Commandment was in third place. An unknown army now made him put in the place that he wanted him to. Dominant.
And a little taunt to throw some salt on the wound right there. Now hopping to the other side of the map, we have Blaster looking for a vehicle. He does have a baller. His main priority right now is metal and more loot.
Take a look here. We got Martine. He's got eyes on a target. Let's use his forward with that drum gun. Close range, but no! It was low boom who gives him the hands there. Fun fact, Christian, our boy from Fortnite VR Live, told me look out for low. Someone to definitely take eyes on. They did eliminate one another though. Boom, not in this.
It's the risk you take when you jump into someone's box here in the Fortnite world. Leshy, another controller player, bringing it back to the good old nostalgic.
Please leave a like and sub, thanks.
That close range PvP is going to get shot a few times right there, but still keeping his cool. He has plenty of extra shields and mobility. Shockwaves are going to be great around this congested area. That's what it is. 4 players in Neo tilted right now. You have to be careful.
This is a controller battle, actually.
See who can best one another here. She's probably looking to take this wall. All right, he's going to break into the building now. Get that high ground. Astonis just waiting, not making a sound here, seeing if he can bait Leshy into that. He's going to fall for it. Will make
stage, hearing the audience, the crowd, everyone cheering, there's obviously going to be that added pressure. We talked with a few of the players before the game started today. The number one thing that I think everyone brought up to me was just the volume, right? The sheer presence of where we are. Some of them even went as far as to say, yeah, I don't think I'm going to look up at all. I think I'm just going to focus on the screen. That's what I know. No reason for me to try and go above and beyond anything else, right? Sometimes the moment can take you away.
You can see both points of POVs right here, both points of views.
Yeah.
They're looking to take any walls that they can just to, in control. Have a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah, this is basically like a Fortnite equivalent of an arm wrestling match right now. Maybe for some of our parents who are joining us here for the first time, haven't watched Fortnite before, they're really just struggling to try and get positioning over the other player. That is the struggle that they're wrestling with here.
All right, Lesh this time has decided to commit. He is now down face to face. There's nowhere Astonish can run. He goes into it.
Oh,
lands
man.
the 2-shot. And that's the little tactic right there. If there's a ramp in front of the wall, you have to recognize you are in big danger because there's a nifty little trick to get you in that box.
My favorite players. On the side, goes the high ground. Oh, man. That is rough. Not having the best game at this point in time.
Bates placed 8th on average when he qualified in the online opens. On average, across every game he loaded into. That's very high for placement. And now he's picking up elims. Unfortunately, like we said here, he's not really connecting the dots today, but it's not yet. We're only halfway through this competition here.
There's Lechy who has to get out of there. Whew, that could have been very dangerous, but gets an elimination on Kinstar. A massive elim here for Lechy, who's sitting right now at 2 elims currently in this battle at Neo Tilted.
Representing for all the controller players across the world. Lechy, very dangerous. Be a huge upset right there.
And just in close range with a player like Lechy, they'll punish you, right? When you have the controller, you have that little bit of the ability to just L-trigger. You're going to have, and I know some people are going to be like, oh, L-trigger, low, whatever. But the reality is, right, you got the use of your arm, you got the guns, but when
maybe Ruck said it best, you know, just the age difference. Lechy's 15, you know, could just be a little fast from Kinstar here.
Yeah, I know. When I was 15, I was nowhere near as good as so, Crew just in this fight here. Moment does get ownership of the ball because that player doesn't get that all around. You can also get an eye on the bottom right of your screen. You can see the mini map where players are going to be located. The player we're typically on is going to be that white triangle, but that blue triangle, that other player goes right in front of the fight. Is going to knock down the shield just a little bit there. He's going to have minis to be able to top himself back up. Yeah, Shockwave. Yeah, you don't want to go for that fight. Shockwaves are so important. Players saving them for that late game. And in some cases, they'll just use it, disengage. You don't want to take a fight. There's no reason for you to do so. A lot of players playing cautiously, as they should, with what's on the line here. But Crew, oh, he marches forward. That's number 2 for Crew.
You can see the excitement there. Nice little smirking grin on his face. He throws a peace sign to the crowd, and he takes that player Lucky right out. This Happy Hamlet area is so dangerous to rotate through. You have players like Mr. Savage. Now we see Left Eye and Kurtz. Left Eye was responsible, again, for a big upset in the last game, taking out the likes of some huge names towards the end game. But Kurtz here with a heavy sniper. Can he open up a base here and follow up with that infantry rifle? He's coming up. He's getting this little peek on right here.
Yeah, I think Ninja yesterday had talked about the infantry rifle, how good that weapon is. And it truly, I mean, the accuracy that you get out of it is absurd. It's something that if you pick it up and you know how to use it, you'll be deadly out there in the field. But she has done a lot of times, Ninja, which is why he likes that weapon so much. And I would understand why a lot of our players will go for that as well. When you have the option to, why not? If you got that comfortability with it. Then you got Left Eye. 2 eliminations currently. Has 2 shockwave nades.
And, you know, you got to give some respect to Left Eye, who completely left his previous job 6 months ago to fully focus in on competitive Fortnite, and he found himself at the Fortnite World Cup stage. I don't think it gets any better than that. That is a dream story here.
Yeah, in competitive gaming, you take those risks if you want it so badly. If you want it more than you have to breathe, you just go for that moment. You never know what's going to happen. This could very well be a lot of the people in this arena next year playing on that stage. Encourages say that they had the budget, so I'm just going along with what he said. You know?
All right, but here we have
Tfue
playing his classic high ground center map, more or less. He does have a lead for the next zone.
Movement options for him, which in the last game he had the shadow bombs. Didn't really pan out for him. King, very thirsty, went for just all the water he could possibly get out of that one. And I say he certainly was quenched in his thirst. But then Tfue now, this is, sometimes you're flying and then you just become a magnet, and that is unfortunate.
It's Clarity G who picks up Tfue. Unfortunately, right there with one wall open from behind him.
That's
not
so
placed
difficult.
down, unfortunately.
That's so difficult. There are times you fly into the sky and then the entire server just looks right at you.
It's all about timing in Fortnite here, but that's the risk you take. So now looking at Link here. Link putting some pressure up above. Remember, Storm Surge is in effect in these games, so you have to be hyperactive. You have to be proactive for seeking for damage. And when you commit to battle, you are more than likely going to have to finish that battle. Here we have Robabs. He's kind of looking up. He's holding that edit, though. He is ready to open it up. I think he's going to trade fire as soon as Link goes for the shot. Now they're both playing that little mind game right here. Who's going to go first now?
New circle, now active.
This is what we like to call a shambles loadout, as Link doesn't have much loot.
No, doesn't have much loot, doesn't have much HP either. He's going to have to try again in the next game. Robabs does manage to get the better. Oh man, this is intense. Now we're at 62 players remaining. Some players taking fights, others really just focusing on staying alive, staying in this one to the placement points.
That's right, and now we have Leshy back with Leshy. We saw him in Neo Tilted, taking out the likes of Keemstar, Astonish in these 1v1 battles. Clearly not afraid to jump in your box. And oh man, with a loadout like this, 6 shockwaves, 3 launch pads, all the ammunition in the world, and zone favor right now. He is looking very good in game 3 right now.
Yeah, he's got a lot of builds. He's got tons of stuff to work with. No reason why Leshy can't make it to that end game. This is going to be interesting. Controller player. Let's not forget yesterday, Wolfie's controller player getting second place here in the Fortnite World Cup Duos competition, along with his teammate Rojo. Here's Leshy though, applying the pressure. With that shockwave nade, he gets right on top of a nice spot, nice position, kind of planning himself, understanding a player's going to be around there, but now all these players looking right at him as he just has to play defense. No choice. Gets tagged up a little bit, loses some of his shields. He'll be okay for the time being.
The amount of players you see on the stadium side that once he's shown his self to that angle right there and everyone just collapsed on him, that is so scary. And it's still coming in, but he's fending himself off, punishing another player off to the east side right there. There's Leshy. If he can figure out that that player is the same one that just tried to make a move on him, could spell disaster for Evil Mare.
Evil Mare doesn't have much to work with regarding health, right? He's sitting at just above half HP. Right above him is going to be Clash. Got Peasus as well. Down low on the flooring. There's Clash. Good loadout as far as weaponry is concerned. Also has that glider with the HP that he has currently. Might want to take advantage of a shadow bomb or something like that rather than exposing yourself to the sky. But this is another play from earlier on. Actually, no, Storm Surge active. currently, and we are in last. Apologies there.
He's sitting on 2 ballers here. You see one here. He knows this opponent's going to have to go for one, but I guess a little bit of scouting there is going to realize someone's waiting, baiting all of the loot as well.
Also off screen, Leshy did take out Evil Mare. You mentioned that before, Monster. Ended up happening. And then Storm now, 65 HP. Where is this player that went in for the fight?
It's Wakey. Wakey's right nearby. Storm and Wakey are sitting now in the zone here. Biding time here. Wakey, 3 eliminations, tied up for the most elims in the game so far. You have Wakey, Leshy, and Aspect, all at 3 eliminations so far.
Just under 50 players remaining in game number 3. Players have boxed up. They want to play this slow game. Wait for anyone to make a mistake. It's going to be hard, but for some players like Dubs, they're going to need it. Because thus far, it has not gone well for, I would say, one of the favorites here.
Dubs did go for the shot, unfortunately could not connect. It looks like Clarity's going to pick up Core Gaming there instead. Dubs, we saw in the previous game, do that baller all the way to the end game.
Yep.
Really playing slow and methodical here. You can't stand still. Dubs has definitely found himself a target nearby.
You see some, I think they're just looking at each other. They know exactly what's going on. The circle's going to be closing down now. We're going to find out where the next one is. And that's when players start to prioritize these rotations, the movement. Dubs does have a baller, which has been his strategy. He did it in game 2. He had the baller pretty much all the way until the end there. Got shot out of it. But it did bring him to a 2nd place finish. Another top 3 finish for him, top 5, top 3, maybe even a victory royale, right? But ideally that,
You tried to catch him right there. You saw that?
Wild.
Wanted to put him in the box for a second.
Fair player will have no idea what to do at that moment.
It's actually pretty interesting as well because Class is desperate right now for an Elam. He has to really feed off of a Siphon. He doesn't have any other way to go. Taking the safety edge, taking the away so that he doesn't expose himself even for the slightest bit.
84 builds for Class. Tons of builds here. And Storm. Now the Storm starting to push. Look at that. She's still going for shots as players are moving about. I think I saw a player get right in his face. He did pop that shot about. Now we're going to game 1 winner, Booga. He's dealt 420 damage in this match. Hasn't taken a single shot. 1 elimination for him right now. As now the action feed begins to fall. You see so many names getting eliminated one by one. Bizzle out of this one. That was from Lecce, who's having one heck of a game, taking out some big names.
It is really going down right here. You can just kind of breathe in this overhead view right here.
Man.
Bella EU doesn't even realize he has the high ground right now. Clarity G just nearby as well. Bugga at the upper layers in this end game, just trying to avoid that lower ground congestion.
Yeah.
All these players are just slammed in the middle right here. As Andretta gets the high ground. We haven't seen much of Andretta so far. But you got to be careful. Those shockwaves will really sting and take that placement from you.
Yeah, he has been laying low so far, but does manage to maintain the high ground. Lost it for a brief moment, but wisely enough went outside of the Storm to regain some of those builds. On the right side of your screen, you got Booga and Lecce. Lecce, a great game that he's managed to put together with 5 eliminations. Booga, your game 1 winner, maybe looking to get a 2nd win on the board. How massive will that be for your current 1st place player?
Leshy just picked up his 6th elimination now. He is really popping off right here.
That was on Hoodjay too, a big player there and a big connection.
though, so he will be able to make it to this next zone. He decides that he's close enough to try and tarp in, but now he becomes the target of the server because he's only building in wood here.
People can take note of the structures being used. That will give you an indication of where they are currently. Players who build around 2-box.
since the competition has begun, he's been chipping away at placement. That last one was a huge victory for him. That is exactly what he wanted, he needed here to keep him relevant.
So many great moments in that game. While we had a best team in the house, there were some moments that maybe we didn't catch. And the good news is we got one of the best VOD reviewers in the game. Ball is standing by to break it all down.
Thank you so much, GP. Yes, we have 2 games remaining. It looks like Sam and Booga repeating that first game success early on to move forward at the top of the leaderboard. But for now, we're going to take a look at some of Rux's performances and some of his shots that push him up to 5th. So while we roll these clips, Rux in the end game. First, he set himself up brilliantly in the early game against Arkham. We've talked about Arkham a number of times. This duel has been going on every single game here. Rux takes the better of Arkham and gets the loadout that he needs to push on forward here with the infantry rifle and the combat shotgun and heals to move. Only 1 mat remaining for this entire time. Doesn't quite get those mats after finding the elimination onto Core Gaming, so he's working through old structures with other players' structures. That's when you start going sneaky beaky mode. Stays crouched. Make sure that no sound is coming through for that elimination onto Slaya. He had high ground at this position. A nice shot there onto Light. Unbelievable flick shot with the combat shotgun. And then this is when I believe it was somebody else took high ground here. Beautiful retake and stomping. Rux brings himself up into 5th place with that. We'll see if he continues to climb. But for now, we've got 2 more games to go. Gentlemen, back to you.
Thank you so much for breaking that down, Bala. Rux, who has been time and time again showing up in the top. Always seems like whether it's solo sport, they always have great events. So no shocker there. But this is, what a wild ride, right? We've been on 10 weeks up until this point. All these players from around the world. I love looking at that top 10 as well, man, because it truly is a great international game that we have here with Fortnite.
Yeah, you saw it unfold. Like, who would have thought King would be the man to show up today and be, like, honestly, the energy for the arena here, because he has had some of the wildest moments so far in his journey through this World Cup weekend.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. It's been a wild ride here, but that's going to do it for myself and Amasi Face the Boniqua, boys. Always a pleasure to catch with you. Now we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, Courage and Lupo take the stage one more time, and then we crown our Fortnite World Champion. We'll see you in just a few.
Hello, Fortnite fam! I am _. I am joined here at the front of house with David, and we're going to talk a little bit about how all of these systems work, how we are bringing the Pro-Am, Creative Cup, and the World Cup to you guys this weekend. So David, nice to meet you. Thank you for joining me here. What do all of these buttons do behind us? Tell me a little bit about what all the technical things are here.
So basically this is the lighting and all of the video for the entire show. We're pushing out all the videos that you see on all the screens, any camera shots that go up there. And then we're also making sure that all the
So it's your job to just make everyone look great, is technically what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Now, I know that you have some facts about the lights, the LEDs. Give me a little bit of some factoids about how all of this production pulls power and, you know, what goes into all of this.
Absolutely. There's about 1,200 lighting fixtures in the room currently. We have about 18 4K video outputs to go to all the big screens. We're running about 98 million pixels worth of video space, and it's taking about 2,000 amps of power, which is about enough to run about 15 homes.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today, introduce me to all of these working parts. But there are so many more things that go into all of this. So when you guys are out in the stands watching the World Cup this weekend, you have David to thank for everything.
Dub said, look, I've qualified. I'm just going to come back and just flex on literally the entire region.
It's ridiculous. I mean, the fact that you can be so consistently good in one of the major regions.
The best
of the best aren't concerned with just barely making it. They want to win every fight. They want every point. That's why he's in first. There's a reason he's one of the best solo players on the planet.
팩스폭스라고요. 저는 아시아컵에서 뉴욕 진출했고요. 이제 나이는 17살. 다연승을 해가지고 후반에 맘 놓고
For victory or